Martin Yan is an Hong Kong American chef and a food writer. He used to host this popular award winning TV cooking show called Yan Can Cook in the 80s. Yan's style of presentation was like filled with humor. And during the program's original run, he would always end that show with a catchphrase: if Yan can cook, so can you. When I started my Thursday video series in August 2022, that was my aim: to share a context, share an anecdote, an example, and make a point, and show how easy it would be for you to replicate it at your workplace and talk human. Simple, raw conversations, just like how you would talk with your colleagues, your teams, your stakeholders, anyone that you interact with in your organization. Today is the 50th episode. I trust these stories have stayed with you and you've used them at your workplace. Thank you so much for all your comments and thank you for being with me in this journey. Now, for today's example. Many change efforts fail, or they stagnate, lose traction, or sometimes even disappear. Far too often, we hear participants report that their behavior didn't really change. They just added to more meetings, more trainings, and reporting, and etc. to their schedules. So, what really causes or creates behavioral change? I heard about this incident in the Inspiring Impacts podcast, where Professor Ronald Fry, who is a professor at Case Western Reserve University, talks about appreciative inquiry. Yes, the other AI. He talks about this incident which happened at this company, which is a steel mill in the US. Let's call the company Steel USA. In 2006, Steel USA had approximately 1,600 unionized workers. Within the global parent steel company, this mill was one of the most productive in terms of tonnage per man hour. However, its safety record, as per the US standards, was very poor. So they created this appreciative inquiry summit called Embracing Our Future, and that was conveyed to solidify and amplify the mill's culture by engaging various stakeholders who were working on it. After the summit, the change team met and they created an action plan which was approved by the senior leadership. And the plan was to hold another similar AI summit in March or April 2007. And to prepare for it, they said they would interview every employee in one-on-one conversations. And this would be done between September and December 2006. The interesting part were the key interview questions that were used. They used 3 questions. Question 1 was, tell me about a time when you felt most safe and secure working in this mill. What in particular helped you feel safe? Question 2 was, tell me about a time when you did something to prevent an accident from happening. A time when you did or said something to keep yourself and for others from getting hurt. And the third one was a futuristic question. It said, imagine we are truly injury-free. We are the safest mill in the entire global system. Everyone goes home after work just as safe as they were when they came in that day. What does that mill look like? All the interview summary sheets were then analyzed by a core safety team, and they used this to prepare for the summit at the end of March 2007. And from that summit, they took 12 specific change initiatives, all aimed at lowering accidents and creating a workplace that focused on safety. Towards the end of 2007, several months after the summit, and where one might reasonably expect that the change has taken hold, they reviewed the trend on accidents. And what they found was that the year-to-year comparisons showed a strong and dramatic improvement. In December 2007, the number of accidents was an average of 46% lower than what was there in December 2006. Interestingly, the drop in accidents began even before the March 2007 summit. In fact, the average number of accidents recorded each month dropped sharply by 58% between December 2006 and January 2007. And the new lower average were then maintained throughout the year 2007. They said, okay, did anything else happen in that time between September and December 2006? But there were no changes to safety training, no changes in personnel, no changes to the workload, no new projects, nothing. So that begged the question, could it be that the site-wide conversations between the co-workers somehow catalyzed that behavior change? This example underscores a very fundamental idea between change and a key principle in appreciative inquiry. If you want to change behavior related to an issue, begin by changing the way you talk about it. First, change the conversation. Follow-up inquiries at Steel USA also revealed that there was a major shift in the cultural norms after these interviews. It shifted from, I can take care of myself, don't get into my space about how I do my job, and became, we all want to send everyone home as healthy as they came to work. We help each other to stay safe. Now, we know scientifically that when people connect to shared strengths, they immediately see new possibilities. In this case, strangers interviewing each other, finding commonalities in different stories, you can see that the bond and the experience, the collective energy that comes from it. You're listening to someone else's story, they are listening to your story, and then together you're inquiring, are these commonalities in different experiences? And lo and behold, you find that there are. The power of people to connect people, power of stories to connect people, no matter how familiar or different or strangers they are to each other, we see that over and over. Start with the stories, never start with what we call a list question. What have you observed in your organizations while you were driving change? Do share in the comments.